Namaste and welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga with some gentle movement and ending in 5 minutes sitting in meditation. For this practice, you'll want to have quite a few props, such as 2 blocks, a strap, a pillow or bolster, and a blanket. My name is Michelle. Find a comfortable way to sit that works for you and allows you to feel upright in your spine and breathe well while feeling grounded and relaxed. You may even like to prop your pelvis up on a pillow, a blanket, or a combination of that. Taking a moment to mentally and physically arrive. So if, like me, you are working on how you relate to uncertainty, or maybe you worry when you think about the unknown or change and the unknown that comes with that. Here is an excerpt from Pema Chodron, who is a mindfulness teacher, is writing about this. Groundlessness, uncertainty, insecurity, vulnerability. These are words that ordinarily carry a negative connotation. We're generally wary of these feelings and try to elude them in any way possible. But groundlessness isn't something we need to avoid. The same feeling we find so troubling when we open to it can be experienced as a huge relief, as freedom from all restraints. It can be experienced as a mind so unbiased and relaxed that we feel expansive and even joyful. I did some further research and found an article written by Leo Babauta in Zen Habits, and he goes over a few ways that we can learn to find the beauty in groundlessness, this feeling of not having solid ground or something to hold on to amidst uncertainty. He says we can allow ourselves to feel the sensations of uncertainty in our body as physical sensations. I talk about this when we practice mindfulness with emotions, like during meditation. Go back to your body and what are you feeling there? How does anxiety feel in the body? How does worry feel in your body? And it's a way to bring us back into embodied presence when we're caught up in fear and thinking about what might happen. We're up here in the mind and no longer present in our bodies. If we're thinking about the future, that's where we are. And so the practice of coming back to the sensations grounds us. It allows us to come back to where breath is happening, where there is some sort of safety, some sort of peace. Another thing we can do is experience the groundlessness of the situation with a feeling of openness that it is, the freshness of the moment, the freedom of nothing being fixed. So this requires a very bold shift in the angle at which you're looking at that feeling of uncertainty or that situation of unknown. He also says to relax into it. I know that's easier to say than done, but like anything, like yoga, like living yoga, it takes practice and intention. He talks about appreciating the unknown's sense of openness, to see and feel it with fresh eyes as if you've never experienced the particular open moment before. And then lastly, and I think this is a really important piece, from this place of openness and love, ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do right now? What's the most loving thing I can do for myself and others? And he really emphasizes coming from love, which we know is more powerful than fear. When we come from love, we find our superpowers. So with that in mind, let's come into the physical practice and bring a caring observation to what you're carrying in your physical body. And then we'll sit in meditation afterwards, sitting. Let's take a moment to assess what's here now for you. So you let your body be still, maybe close the eyes. Begin to mentally scan your physical body, bringing a friendly attention to any sensations. Begin to sense the breath just as it is. Through it, observing how you feel energetically. Notice the state of your mind. What have you been giving your attention lately? How is that affecting the state of your heart? Notice any emotions present. As you root down into the surface below your body, allow a deeper breath into your nose. As you open the mouth to exhale, let your spine rise a little taller, a little lighter. Again, inhaling a little bit slower. Maybe find a pause at the top of the breath for a few seconds, just observing how that feels. Emptying it again through the mouth. Maybe find a pause at the bottom for a few seconds, sensing that feeling of emptiness. And on your own, continue to deepen your breath. I invite you to call to mind something that you appreciate right now. Making gratitude a regular practice so that it becomes a way of being. As gratitude amplifies the energy of your heart center, from there, set your intention for this practice today. What would you like to cultivate? Remembering our interbeing with each other. To whom or what would you like to dedicate today's practice? And take a moment to offer up your efforts. This is also a way to not grip onto any expected outcome, but be open to what arises. And together, let's create a resonant space to share our practice in, as well as set our intentions and dedications by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale a little fuller. I invite you now to continue breathing deeply in and out through your nose. If you can, close the lips. And then slide your hands to your, one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. And see if you can invite the breath to expand into both parts. So you're filling up as much as you can throughout your torso and using your diaphragm. Deep inhale through the nose. And just as deep, exhale through the nose. Starting to create a more brisk, but consistent, if you can, pace. We're going to begin a practice called bellows breath, or Bhastrika Pranayama in Sanskrit. There is also a physical movement or kriya that you could add as you're breathing like this, and it helps to warm up the shoulders. We had a request to open up the fronts of the shoulders a bit. And that's where you bring your elbows apart like this and make fists with your hands as you sit tall, relax the shoulders. And when you inhale, you raise the arms and spread your fingers. And when you exhale, you bend the elbows and refist the hands, sort of like this. So find your own pace that you can maintain for 1 minute. See what you can do. If you need to start and stop, of course, that's fine. I'm going to watch the clock, so prepare to begin. Bellows breath, go. We're halfway through. And relax. As you're breathing naturally, notice anything that you feel. Bellows breath can be a helpful technique to energize yourself, cleanse your lungs, and invite clarity of mind. And I invite you to continue breathing just through the nose as we start practicing Ujjayi pranayama, which means victorious breath. It helps to balance your energy and calm and focus your mind and body. So as you're breathing through the nose, slow down the in-breath just as slowly as the out-breath, taking your time to find the very top and the very bottom of the breath, while creating a gentle whispering sound that you can listen to as a way to anchor your mind, so that what you do with your body becomes a form of meditation. So that sound is done by gently narrowing or softly constricting the back of your throat. Listen to a few cycles and invite the sound of very peaceful, gentle ocean waves. And before we hold our yin and restorative postures, some for a few minutes at a time, let's warm up the body with some gentle movements connected to the breath. So start by lowering onto your hands and knees or tabletop pose, and set your shoulders just above your wrists as you spread your fingers wide and flat. Here, let's turn out the hands so we can also stretch your inner wrists and forearms. So spin out your hands at the wrists to whatever degree that allows you to comfortably stretch that area, and then step your knees a couple of inches behind your hips. Now listen to your breath and empty it. As you breathe in, slowly glide your torso forward, roll your shoulders back and down, tilt your chest up, cow pose. As you breathe out, contract your abdomen, slowly dropping your head as you round your back, cat pose. Again, inhale, coiling your chest up into cow pose. Exhale, lifting the belly in as you dome your back into cat pose. Continue for another 5 to 7 cycles of breath on your own. Virālasana is a Sanskrit name for this posture. Couple more cycles of breath. Notice how it feels mentally and physically to slow down your breathing and move your body that slowly. Relaxing to a neutral spine, set your weight back towards your legs, and now let's stretch the outer side of your wrists and forearms, knowing that though we're going to concentrate quite a bit on opening up the fronts of the shoulders, it's all connected: forearms, wrists, jaw, face. So let's make fists with your hands. Give yourself a fist bump like this. Keep your fist bump and place the backs of your fists on the ground about a foot in front of your knees so that your elbows are not on the ground. They're bending apart, slowly shifting your weight forward to the amount of intensity you want to feel the stretch. And then as you're here for maybe 5 more breaths, gently shake your head no. Relax the neck. Maybe stretch the mouth, make some silly faces, or flutter the lips, relax the jaw more actively that way. And then leaning back onto your legs again, let's inhale the arms forward and up. Exhale, circle the arms behind you and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, behind you and down. 3 more on your own. As you lift the arms, try to keep the shoulders relaxed so there's space in the neck. You're not shrugging the shoulders. And if you're like me and your lower back likes to overbend, seal in the bottom of your front ribs. Try to lengthen the front and the back of your torso evenly. One more time, breathe in as you lift the arms. Large circles at the shoulders. Exhale. Let's make our way up to stand, and we'll take this movement throughout the body. You might like to place 2 blocks on their tallest height in front of your mat and step behind the blocks about a foot. Step your feet about hips width apart and parallel your second toes to each other. Stacking your hips above your ankles, your shoulders above your hips, lengthen up through the back of your skull, and turn the palms to face forward as you stand tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's start to move in half sun salutations to begin. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and overhead, gently coiling your chest up. Bend your knees and exhale, slowly bow from your hips, feeling as if you have a flat back. Lower your fingertips on your blocks or your legs and press into that as you inhale, lengthen your spine forward, sliding the shoulders back. Exhale, fold a little more towards the legs. Press through your feet. Inhale, slowly rise, reaching the arms overhead. Gently roll your shoulders back and down, look up. Exhale, join your hands in prayer, tracing your thumbs down to your heart center. Let's continue 3 more cycles of Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutations. Inhale the arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge from the hips, maybe bend the knees in Uttanasana. Press your blocks or legs. Inhale, lengthen forward in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, fold Uttanasana. Root down to your feet. Inhale, rise slowly to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer down to your heart center in Padasana. Maybe close the eyes and feel the breath and the body in sync. Inhale the arms up, tilt your heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Press with your hands, inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Press with your feet, inhale, slowly rise. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer to your heart center. Last one. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Listen to a full cycle of breath, and let's take this a little further into Sun Salutation C, warming up the lower body a little more. Surya Namaskar C. Remember that the sun salutations are a moving meditation offering gratitude literally to the sun, which is a huge source of energy for all of us. So bring that to heart and mind as you listen to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, gently coil your chest up. Exhale, fold from the hips. This time, place your fingertips on the ground or your blocks outside your heels. Inhale, step your left knee behind you. Look up, kneeling lunge. As you hold your breath, step into plank pose with legs straight or knees on the ground. Exhale, lower your knees, then your chest. Hug the elbows to the ribs, then lower your chin, firm in the belly. Inhale, slither forward into cobra, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press through your feet. Inhale, slowly rise. Urdhva Hastasana, lifting your heart towards the sun. Exhale, joining your hands in reverence at your heart. One more time, side two. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Lower your fingertips. Inhale, step your right knee back. Anjaneyasana, look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, Ashtangasana, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, Cobra or Bhujangasana. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, slowly rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms together at your heart. 2 deep breaths here. Sense the quality of your breath right now. Sense your energy. Now, reach back behind your lower back and interlace your fingers and lift your hands away from your lower back. Notice how far away you can lift the hands. If it's difficult to do that, then grab a strap. If you're using a strap, hold the strap with your thumbs pointing away from your spine and space your hands as wide apart as it allows you to lift the hands further away from your lower back, maybe at least a foot away. Now let's step the feet apart, wider than hips distance, maybe mat width or wider. Make sure that your feet are parallel to each other. Inhale as you roll the shoulders back, lift your chest, gaze up. Exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. Cultivate a flat back sort of feeling, so firm in the belly. If your back starts to round, bend your knees as much as you need to avoid rounding the back. Now, as you drop your head, really drop your head, shake it out maybe a few times, and relax the neck, relax the jaw. How's your breathing? Tilting your weight forward enough, align your hips with your ankles. So rather than the hips behind the ankles, try to get them in line. Now see if you can stretch the hands further away from the lower back. Maybe you space the hands wider apart in the strap or closer together. Bend your elbows slightly. And as you continue to stretch the arms forward, here, as you can probably feel, we're opening up the front of the shoulders. Lift the shoulder bones at the same time away from your neck. Try to create more space and feeling of freedom in your neck. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, lion's breath. Stick out your tongue, stretch the mouth wide, release any sound. Once more, deep inhale through the nose. Now let the arms fall. Bend your elbows and hold opposite elbows with your hands. Bend your knees.
And use that to support your balance as you're swaying your spine side to side. Maybe shaking and nod the head a few more times. Deep breath in. This time closing the lips. Ujjayi breath again. And then from here, let's start to lower all the way to the floor. We'll come to sit on the ground.
Getting ready for a restorative posture, which we'll hold for a few minutes. And that's going to be a combination of a hip opening posture and opening the heart space, the fronts of the shoulders, in supported fish and supported bound angle pose. So to start, grab your 2 blocks and let's place them at the back of your mat. One at the tallest height at the rearmost end, and one at the medium height, either tracing the midline of your mat where the blocks are maybe just an inch or 2 apart, or crossing the mat width where the blocks are 5 to 6 inches apart. You can adjust when you're lying back and see what feels more expansive for your chest and relaxing for you. For now, bring your pelvis away from the blocks enough so that you can sit facing the front of your mat. Bring the soles of your feet together, bend the knees apart. And first, just notice, do your knees drop easily? Does it feel like they're contracting to keep the knees falling apart? If the latter, use something to support your outer knees and thighs. One thing is, if you have 2 pillows that are the same thickness, you can put one under each. Otherwise, if you don't, open up your blanket and make it about the length of your wingspan, like this. And then roll up that blanket into a very smooth, firm, cylindrical pillow, like a long burrito. And we'll sort of swaddle our feet and hips to support them. So once you have that long cylindrical pillow, place the center of it on top of your inner ankles and feet, and place the ends of it under your outer knees and thighs. Now, if you have excess, you can fold it and make it even thicker if you need more support or less support. So try to get it even on both sides, unless you've got some injury where that's not possible for your hips. And then once you feel comfortably supported there, start to lie down onto the blocks. Find the area that's right underneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and let that land on the closest edge of the closest block, so that first block can help to uplift your chest and broaden it. Make sure that it offers symmetry. Both shoulders are releasing downward into the space between the blocks pretty evenly. And then the tallest block is right under your skull. Make sure it's not under your neck. It's under your skull. Then you can adjust that lower block if you want it to go in the second orientation. You can adjust the block that's under your head. If you feel like you're not getting enough openness in the chest because you're already feeling open, then you can tilt that block under your head 1 or 2 steps lower. And then from your shoulders, rotate your upper arms externally and flip the palms to face up. That will also help to open up the fronts of the shoulders. Land the backs of your hands slightly away from your thighs, resting the arms on the floor. Is there any other adjustment you might make to your body so that you can be here for the next 4 minutes, comfortably, still, and relaxing the muscles in your body so you're not trying to hold yourself in this position. You're letting yourself feel held. All right, I'm going to be watching the clock now as you continue to mentally watch your breathing. You might continue that gentle ocean wave sound of Ujjayi Pranayama. I'm going to play a couple of my singing bowls in this empty space. Sense another 2 slow breaths, staying right where you are a little longer. And before you even start to move your body, just bring to mind the intention of very gently moving. You might even say mentally, going to gently move. I'm going to gently move. Just a way of being fully present in your body so the transitions don't disrupt being present. Let the transition be part of the practice too. So you might begin by bringing your hands to your outer thighs. If you've got something underneath them, you can gently pull them out from under. And then, like you're closing a book, slowly lifting your knees so that you can step your feet onto the floor. Going to make a small transition to start and set the feet apart wider than your hips distance on the ground. Keep the knees bent. And then drop your knees together so that they touch. Notice how this feels in your body. Maybe you feel the lower back widening as this posture helps. And then from here, you might rest a hand on the middle of your chest, just below the belly button. If that does not allow your arms to relax, and just rest your hands where you can relax. And just listen to another 10 deep breaths on your own here. Taking your time when you have finished 10 deep breaths. And begin to stretch your arms slowly overhead. Stretch the legs forward on the ground. Maybe circle your feet, circle your hands. Feel the joints at your ankles and wrists. And then begin to plan your route up to sit, the easiest, most gentlest way to get there. Coming up to sit, let's prepare for a hybrid posture, actually, yin pose. First, begin by just assessing if you need to prop your pelvis up on something so that you can sit up tall and comfortably and even bow forward without rounding. And then from here, let's start with the legs in cow face pose. So take your right thigh, cross it over your left thigh as much as you can, and bending both knees, splay your feet apart. Try to evenly root your two sitting bones. And then from here, we'll bring the arms into eagle pose. So bend your elbows apart, cross your left elbow over your right elbow. Either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Soften your shoulder heads down and lift up through the center of your spine. Create space in your neck, especially at your throat. Keep that and hug in the front ribs. As you breathe in, sit a little taller. And if it's available, as you breathe out, hinge little by little forward from the hips for about 10 to 15 breaths.
When you're ready to come up, press your pelvis deeper into the ground and breathe in as you slowly lift your spine upright. Backstroke your arms and stretch your legs forward. And take your time switching sides. So this time we'll take the left thigh and cross it over the right. Bend the knees, splay the feet apart. Evenly root your sitting bones down and then bend your elbows apart. Cross your right elbow over the left and either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Softening your shoulders down, lift up through the back of your skull all the way down to your lower back. Keep your throat naturally open. Inhale here. Sitting tall. As you exhale, if it's available, without rounding or causing strain, especially in the breath, hinge little by little from the hips. 10 to 15 deep breaths. When you're ready to, pressing down to your pelvis, slowly breathe in as you rise. And backstroke the arms, stretch the legs. So let's enter a spinal twist here, coming down onto all fours, hands and knees. Preparing for thread the needle, which will also help to open up the upper back and the backs of the shoulders. So set your knees on the ground a couple inches behind your hips as you stack your shoulders over your wrists. Now you could have your two knees on the floor as we will thread the right arm under the left bent elbow, or you could add a little bit of a stretch into the inner thigh by stepping your right foot out to the right so that the sole of your foot is flat on the ground. The arch of it is in line with the left knee. If you find that that's too cumbersome when you're entering the twist, you can always bring the right knee back to the floor. So press down with your left hand. Inhale, raise your right arm. Exhaling, begin to thread your right arm under your left bent elbow, lowering the right side of your head all the way down. Now, if your head does not comfortably meet the ground, get creative with your props. Use anything that you need to prop your head on a pillow, such as a pillow. And then let your shoulders relax away from your neck. We're here for 10 to 15 breaths. And try to keep your two hips leveled in height so you're not twisting at your pelvis. You're stabilizing your lower back. But you are allowing your rib cage to gently rotate so that the twist is happening at your waistline. Unless you have many mirrors in your home, you might not get a chance to frequently see the back side of your body. You might consider that as representing the unknown or uncertainty. I invite you to bring loving attention to the back side of your body. especially where you might be feeling stronger sensations or shifting sensations as you're in this pose. Cultivating a caring curiosity. And as in the practice of mindfulness, withholding judgment of what you are feeling or observing as good or bad, or right or wrong. Just finding interest in what is happening. Now, when you feel ready to come out of the pose, take your time, slowly rising back to tabletop. You might just pause there, keeping your spine neutral as you let your spine unwind from that posture, and just notice anything you're feeling in your body. Staying aware of your breath. And then as you feel ready to, invite you to, if you can, symmetrically enter the second side. So if you step the right foot out, step the left foot out, press the right hand down, inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale, thread it underneath your right bent elbow, lower the left side of your head all the way down. Notice if it's helpful to prop your head on a prop. Level out your hips. Let the shoulder blades relax down away from the neck. So finding a friendly interest in the happenings, especially in the back of your body here. When you feel ready to start transitioning out, stay aware of your breath as you're moving slowly. Let's meet in child's pose for a few breaths, bringing the inner edges of your feet together to touch. These can be together or as wide apart as it's comfortable for you. And you might even use a prop to rest your forehead on if that's more relaxing. Place your arms wherever it's most relaxing for your shoulders and neck. And while we're here, let's practice breathing out a little slower than we breathe in, a way to invite even deeper relaxation into your nervous system. So counting on your own to about 5 as you inhale, and counting to 7 to about 7 as to 7 as you exhale. And each long exhalation, invite your body to soften a little more, like it's melting welcomingly into Mother Earth. Can you invite that melting, softening quality in your breath as well? Take your time to empty the next breath all the way out before you slowly begin to plant your fingertips alongside your knees and roll up your spine on an inhalation.
Please find again a comfortable way to sit for pranayama, and this one will help us to tune inward, continue to relax more deeply, preparing for corpse pose, shavasana, and then our 5 minutes sitting in meditation. Use any props that you might like to prop your pelvis up so that you can sit tall, breathe well, relax the hips. I'll invite you into 3-part breathing, Durga Pranayam, which help us to also, besides relaxation, really make the fullest use of the breath. Feel in your body where you are breathing into, as some of us when we're not paying attention to the breath might only be breathing into the chest or into the side ribs or wherever. So we're going to expand that a little more consciously. And remember, pranayama can also serve as a form of meditation as you're focusing on the breath and what's here now. So your torso, from your pelvic floor to the top of your neck, imagine dividing it into 3 equal parts. From your belly button to your pelvic floor, all the way around is the first part. From there up to your chest, all the way around, most of your rib cage, is the second. And from your chest all the way up to the top of your neck, all the way around, is the third. You might place a hand on the top and bottom, and we're going to divide an inhalation into thirds. So first we'll inhale 1/3 into the lowest part, pause, then to the middle, pause, then to the top. We'll hold the breath while relaxing the body, observing how you feel. And then we'll exhale slower, very slowly, through the nose and hold the breath there. And that's 1 cycle. Let's practice 3 cycles of Durga Pranayama together, and then 3 cycles on your own. Then we'll let go of controlling the breath and spend a few moments just observing the effects of that. So you might close your eyes to help visualize where you're breathing into. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. So all through the nose. Into the lowest part of your torso, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the second, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the top, inhale 1/3. Hold the breath, relax your body, observe. Through your nose, slowly empty the breath. Hold the breath out. Notice how that feels. Cycle 2. Inhale the lowest part. Pause. Inhale the middle. Pause. Inhale the top. Hold, relax, observe. Exhale very slowly. Hold it out, relax, observe. 3rd cycle. Inhale the first part. Pause. Inhale the middle. Pause. Inhale the top. Hold. Exhale slowly. Hold it out. On your own, continue 3 more cycles. Taking your time when you finish, let the breath flow naturally and notice anything that you're feeling. And when you feel ready, I invite you to gently lower your body into a supine position where you can lie down in your most comfortable way. Feel free to use any of your props for support so that you can be still for about 4 or 5 minutes in shavasana. Once there, close your eyes, continue to breathe naturally, and let yourself be present, being in your body, feeling it breathe. Before you start to move, just notice how your body feels right now. Sense how it's responding to your practice. You might keep your eyes closed to help you continue to tune inward. Be gentle with yourself as you begin to slowly move and wake up your body little by little. Gradually turn over onto your right side, resting your head for a few moments there. Noticing your breath just as it is, feeling your energy. And begin to lift your body up. Please find a comfortable way to sit again for 5 minutes in meditation. Sitting tall, relaxed, open, and grounded. You might bring the hands in a position that invites a feeling of even-mindedness, and that's where you stack your palms face up on the center of your lap like this, and let the thumb tips touch gently. You may even close your eyes. If not, steady your gaze gently on one spot just in front of you, and let's begin. Letting your attention gently rest on the feeling of your breath coming and going on one steady spot in your body. If your attention wanders elsewhere, just notice that and very gently bring your attention back to observing the breath. But over time, as your attention becomes more focused, you might just allow your awareness to dissolve into the present moment. We just naturally become fully absorbed. That is the state of meditation. Sense how you're feeling now mentally and emotionally. I invite you to allow a moment to offer gratitude for anything that you choose. Then remind yourself of what your intention is today in this practice. Remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice. And let's close, sharing the resonance as we both give and receive by chanting Om 3 times. Bowing in, acknowledging the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.